Hi, this is Doug from the Darksliders podcast. This is the news for the week.
Some news this week, and this is some of this is from the last 2 weeks, just because we skipped one. I am super excited about this, and I don't think you care at all.
No, I'm weirded out that you're super excited about this.
So Lawbreakers was
Yeah,
announced, which is Cliffy B's new arena shooter.
yeah.
So what's your issue with that?
It just, I mean, I'm not saying it looks bad by any means, but I just see, I mean, I like these games more than you like these games. Like, I've played a lot of Team Fortress 2, I've played a lot of Quake, I've played a lot of Unreal Tournament, but I don't remember you playing a lot of these games. So, I feel like I should be more excited about this than you.
I played a decent amount of Team Fortress. I played a lot of Unreal Tournament,
Oh, okay, all
and
right.
then
I
the game that this most
didn't know
resembles to me
that.
is Tribes, which I used to play. Which I used to play a lot of Tribes as well. So
Does this look like Tribes? I thought it just looked like a Unreal Tournament. I didn't see the Tribes aspect to it.
just with like the kind of jetpacky type stuff, and there's
Oh, I
lots of that kind of
gotcha.
stuff. Gives me kind of a Tribes vibe.
Yeah.
That sounded funny. Anyway, basically, it's class based. It's super fast, and I like those super fast kind of twitchy shooters. Those make me really excited.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I like the idea that it's class based, and the classes, if you watch some of the gameplay trailers, actually look like they matter. Where I feel like in a lot of these games they don't.
Yeah, there's a few games where like to be like really like Team Fortress 2 is really good at showing what the
Yeah,
necessity of the classes, but yeah, a lot of them don't. This game actually reminded me of it's kind of like League of Legends. I don't like at all, but the thing with League of Legends, like everybody has their own special power ups and stuff, and every character is really unique.
yeah,
And now they're just like, and Blizzard's doing this as well with their what the hell is that other game called that they're doing? But I like that where they're starting doing like these hero characters where you have like a bunch of different skill sets for the single character. And like Team Fortress 2, like your characters are basically different based on their guns and health. While this one is like, no, it's like your guns, your health, the way you move, your special attacks. I think, yeah,
yeah.
crap, that is kind of cool. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what kind of got me to this. It's Unreal Tournament, but you have very specific skill sets for very specific players, which I think is just such a cool idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's not announced for console yet. Like,
No, he actually addressed that today. Um, I was just reading this like an hour before we started recording. His exact quote was, "I don't currently intend to bring it to consoles." Basically, because this is being done by Cliffy B's new studio, not Epic Games,
yeah, Boss Key, I think.
which is a team of like 30 or 40 people. And he basically said, "I personally don't have the resources to do this. If somebody came along and said, 'Hey, we'll develop a port for you in our house or in our studio,'
Yeah.
I'd be totally okay with that as long as they can make it good."
Yeah, I
So
was actually followed Cliffy B on Twitter, and there was like he uh he had sent tweets to Sony of pictures of Microsoft guys playing it. Like, hey Sony, look, it looks like the Microsoft guys dropped by here to try it out. It's like any comments or something like that. I was like, oh, I don't know. He's just I can't imagine why either place would not want that game immediately on their consoles. Like, and do everything in their power to get it on. I mean, it's like Cliffy B is just. I mean, he's just. I think people. The fact that like a lot of people even know who Cliffy B is like, yeah, we should probably get his game on our console.
yeah, and I think just if you advertise it as from the guy who did, and then list any games that he's worked on, I think that'd go over pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
All right, so moving on to a game that Doug really likes that I never actually got a chance to play, and I'm kind of sad about that now that I
Which is
think about
ridiculous.
it. Because I was really excited about this game when they announced it for PS4, and I never bothered to do anything about
I
that.
told you it was really good too. I don't know why it's like $10. Actually, I think it's $15, which is why you didn't buy it.
That sounds like exactly why I wouldn't own this game. But Shovel Knight has some new DLC coming out that looks good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. This is cool.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
No. So okay. So what this is basically it's free first of all, so that's good. So it doesn't matter even if it sucks, it's still free. And it's got to be better than the Arkham Knight DLC.
Oh,
Ooh, so what this is it's a new expansion called Play. I think it's called Plague Knight, or you basically play as Plague Knight, and Plague Knight was one of the boss characters from the game. So what they do instead, so now you play as Plague Knight. That means you have a whole new set of moves, a whole new set of movement. A lot of Plague Knight stuff is based around throwing bombs and stuff, and like creating potions and stuff like that. So there's gonna be a lot of cool gameplay mechanics with it. And they've also they didn't. When I was reading the press release, it looks like they didn't create new levels, but they added new enemies and they remixed the old levels to like fit his playstyle. So like some you'll play through the game again, but like the old levels will have new areas. So it's kind of like Shovel Knight Plus sort of thing.
Basically, a new game plus where you get to play as a different style of character.
Yeah, but they'll also remix the levels, add in a few new enemies. Like it'd be like a real new game plus. Like I mean, a lot of games say, "Oh, we do new game plus." It's totally different, but it's not really. But this one
It's
actually,
slightly harder.
yeah. But this one, yeah, and this one is actually they're adding a lot of remix stuff. I think it's kind of crazy. Um I'm really excited for it. I don't know. I just like it's more Shovel Knight. I think that's all you really need to say about it. I can't believe you still haven't played Shovel Knight. Although if there's got to be a sale coming up because of this. I mean that's usually what comes with these free expansions. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's always a large sale. So I don't know. Maybe this time we can actually talk about Shovel Knight because it's awesome.
Been holding out for that. I do like the idea of completely redoing the original game as DLC. I feel like from a work perspective, I
Yeah.
don't know if that's more or less work.
I
I'm
mean,
sure for a game like Shovel Knight, it's probably not too much,
well,
but
yeah, it's like they got all the assets and like world build, and like again, they're just modifying levels. They're not. I mean,
yeah,
some areas will still be exactly the same, but other ones will be kind of remixed, sort of.
I
So
just feel like that gives you way more content than here's a 3 hour piece of extra story, as opposed to here you can replay the whole 8 hour game again, but it's going to be way different this time.
yeah, no,
Granted, Shovel Knight I don't think is 8 hours, but
no, it's not that long, but it's also free, and it's also free. So it's like, oh, that's shit, cool.
yeah, can't
I,
argue with that.
yeah, and I know Witcher 3 is doing a lot of that stuff. They're doing a lot of free expansions and stuff like that. I think the free stuff is kind of cool. I think it's you're taking a chance though. That I think the idea behind free expansions is that free expansions not only reward older players, but they get new players interested in. So like you can have a news story. I don't know. 6 months after Shovel Knight's come out, oh, there's more Shovel Knight coming. Oh, there's more of this. Instead, like you
Yeah,
waiting for sequel news. So I think it's kind of cool.
yeah, I agree with that. Final Fantasy 15 had some new stuff come out at PAX this past week.
Yep.
Couple new trailers. One was kind of going through some issues that they'd run into so far. Doug's really excited about this.
Oh, is this Doug? Okay, I guess this is another Doug news. So they showed two trailers. The first trailer was they. I don't know why they keep doing this, but they keep showing off stuff that would be cool. That is cool for a Final Fantasy. I'm not denying that, but it is not cool and kind of standard for most other games. Like, so the one
Such
trailer,
as?
okay, for example, for this trailer, they released a it's show that you can use the car to go around an open world, and you can get out of the car at any time. And
Oh.
that was pretty much it. It was like you can drive around the world, you can get out of the car at any time. Um, yeah, and it was like 5 minutes long. It was basically just like them driving around the areas and stuff like that. It was kind of neat, but again, it's that sort of like, okay, Final Fantasy 15, like that was cool when like Grand Theft Auto did it, and then Grand Theft Auto 4 did it, and then Grand Theft Auto 5 did it,
This would have
and
been
then
awesome if you put it in Final Fantasy 12 or 13.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like this would have been really big news. So I think it's kind of neat. But it's kind of that at the very least, it's just like this is what we're working. It's kind of cool that you are sort of seeing the development of it though, because it's clearly like this is the most finished thing we have, so we'll show that. Um,
Yeah, I do like the idea of kind of those development style updates as opposed to just the more traditional gaming release where it's fancy logo trailer, fancy teaser trailer,
yeah,
3 trailers in, we'll give some gameplay, 2 more gameplay trailers release. Whereas this, it's okay. Here's legitimately some things that we've kind of messed up. We're tweaking. We're working on. It just gives I feel like it gives as fans, it gives you more ownership of it. And you're going, I remember when they were working on this. I remember seeing this early and seeing that transform into this piece.
that's really funny because that you said that because I know you didn't watch the whole hour long like reveal of that, but that's exactly
I
what they
did
said
not.
they wanted fans to feel like.
Oh,
So
score! Look at that.
you were good job, Square. You got Brad at the very
One
least.
new, well, not new fan. I was gonna buy this game anyway. One person slightly more ready to say $60, whatever day this happens to come out
Yeah.
next year, quote unquote.
I'll pre-order if they say we're throwing everything out and just making Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy. No, all the combat is not weird anymore. It's just Kingdom Hearts combat. That's all we're doing. They're not going to do that. They shouldn't do that.
They're not.
They should. It'd get me to buy it. But the second trailer I thought was more interesting and kind of what you were talking about was a stuff we're working on, and how it was announced before they showed the trailer was that they kind of require, actually most jobs require this, like they want to show how the whole project's doing. So what they'll do, they'll ask different sectors, show us what your latest stuff is and how much percentage you have completed on it. So this was just that video that they presented to the director of the game to show how far they were on certain aspects.
That's really cool. I like that even more.
So like Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So as you're going through this, like you'll see the percentage complete of what it is, and it's just kind of like a really specific thing. Like the one thing they show is like Noctis's slide animation as he's going down steeper slopes. Like it changes the speed as he's going down slopes depending on the slope of the slope.
Yeah.
Some of them they showed was like AI movement up ladders. Another one they showed was like a very specific tier shader for a specific enemy, and like that's all it was. But it was kind of cool. It's kind of like that you're looking under the hood, and I don't think we've ever seen this for. I'm not gonna say ever seen this, but definitely not for such a high profile game. Like this is the next Final Fantasy. Like this, they're not generally open about their development.
And I don't feel like it's something you see from games currently in development. I think some games come with like behind the scenes footage and things like that
oh yeah,
on
like after
disc.
they're all yeah.
But that's post release after you've played through the whole game, you're watching it. This is, I mean, apparently like a year out, probably closer to 2 years out if we're being realistic.
They doubled down on the 2016.
They are going at that, and it's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen. Maybe like December 31st or something. Like we told you guys.
December 31st
Yeah.
at 11:59.
Yeah.
It'll start pre-installing on your console.
Release. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. And like if you think about like you're even saying the behind the scenes thing, it's like a quick second of like a guy's monitor or something, and like that's it.
Yeah, yep. Or the EA E3 trailers from a year or so ago.
Oh yeah, that showed behind the scenes development. That you can show those, but you can't just show only those.
Yeah, you need to have something to go with that.
Yeah, and they're doing that. Like they're giving us like full length trailers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and honestly,
and I think
like
that
oh sorry.
I think that's why it works well because it was paired with that 5 minute actual gameplay demo that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and even that was like not great, but it was like we still got like a real trailer, and then on top of that we got this like little extra thing. I will say that I did actually watch a lot of the hour long thing. Um, if they pull this game off like what they're talking about, it will be like the best game ever. I can't imagine that's happening. Like it's the best game on paper ever created. So
Yeah,
we'll see if that actually happens.
Yeah,
they're still unsure about a lot of things. The fact they just put on the Just Cause 3 guy, like during that presentation they had a video from the Just Cause 3 guy saying like, "Hey Tabata, we're happy to help you guys with Final Fantasy 15." I was like, whatever they're doing is not going to be finished by 2016. I don't know what it is. I can't imagine just completely retrofitting another engine with another engine is going to work out too well for anybody. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So a game that is now officially coming out in 2016, Uncharted 4, got a release date March 18th, which is weird because in my mind I thought this was a holiday game.
Oh crap, that's really soon. I just realized that.
Yeah.
I just spaced on the date. I don't usually care about dates. I was like, wow, that's like 6 months.
Yeah, it's like 6 months from now, which is super crazy because in my mind like it was a holiday game.
Oh wait, did you think this was coming out this year or like next?
No, next holiday.
Oh
like,
yeah.
In my mind, I was expecting this in like 13, 14 months, not 6 months.
To be fair, it was supposed to come out this holiday though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did get pushed back, but that's why it seemed weird that it was so early in 2016. So I feel like we only pushed it back then like 3 months.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Uncharted 4, that game will. I'm so interested to see how the game was because they're so open. Not they aren't open about it, but we know so much about how like crazy the development's been on that. That I don't know. That game could be awesome, or it could just be like one of the many games that like has crazy development and ends up terrible at the end.
With all the crazy behind the scenes stuff and the high profile names that they had leading this project, it's going to be curious to see what the final product is. If it has that patchwork feeling to it, or what the complete Uncharted 4 is, and I don't know. I'm sure it'll be good.
They've actually had problems with a few of the Uncharted. I know Uncharted 1 and 3 especially had some other problems. So maybe this is all just par for the course and it'll be awesome.
I think it will be.
Yeah, how do you feel about the DLC stuff?
After playing The Last of Us DLC, really excited because that was really, really good. So if it's even comes close to that, I'm going to be really excited.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people were mad about this, but I don't see why because I think The Last of Us DLC, well, I didn't play it. I mean, I know a bit about it. It's not something that like felt cut from the main game. It's like a side story. Like it's a very side story. So like a side story with Uncharted could be like play as Sully, which would be awesome.
Which would be amazing.
Yeah, but knowing Naughty Dog, they wouldn't just be like play this level as Sully. It's like no, here's like a whole sort of separate expansion pack.
Remember remember that 10 minutes where you didn't know what Sully was doing? There
Yeah.
you go.
Now you do. Actually, I'm hoping he plays like young Sully or something like that, like young Sully and young Drake from Uncharted 3. I don't know. They can do whatever. I just if you play as Drake, I'll be disappointed, I guess.
I don't know. I think that's what the Last of Us DLC, because I kept saying, like, referencing back to that. And I think that's what that really showed was, hey, it worked really well when we just told that side story. We didn't try and tack it on. We didn't try and force it. We just went with, where can we tell another story?
Yeah, and I think that should be the theory behind like most DLC. I don't think it is.
But it's not.
Well, they do. They just like do it really hackneyed. I think like Naughty Dog's like one of the few that can actually tell the good side. Honestly, I'm just kind of stuck on this Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, or Arkham Knight DLC, and it's just, oh man, this shit was terrible.
Yeah. Let's not do that anymore, please.
Yeah, exactly.
So another high-profile game got a release date. That is Deus Ex, which is actually, I'm really excited because it's only coming like 3 weeks before that, February 23, which, again, seems way earlier than I thought in my mind. Because that's really exciting. They had to go and ruin it.
Yeah.
So you can augment your pre-order.
I have no problem with this, but continue.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No, I have no problem with this. I'll talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so the way this works, the first part sounds fantastic. And that is that you pre-order it, you get to pick. Do you want the fancy new level? Do you want a character? Do you want it scanned? What do you want for your pre-order, right?
You realize that's the part that people hate, right?
Then people are dumb as shit. That's not the bad part.
No, well, okay, keep going. Just do the news first, and then we'll talk about it.
So you can pick your thing. Now, depending on how much money you pay, you get more stuff, right?
No, that's not how it works.
Oh.
Okay. Jerry, explain how it works.
Anyway.
Did you watch the video?
I did. Wasn't that the idea that like you get like a tier 1 pre-order item, and then if you get to tier 2, you get more?
No,
or was that just for the everybody?
Okay, but I did watch it. We watched the same video, so I can see why this might be confusing. Now I'm not sure because you said that. What I thought it was is that you pre-order the game, and as more people pre-order the game, then more tiers unlock, and that's when you get more stuff. So you don't get to tier 2 by paying more money. You get to tier 2 because 10,000 more people pre-order the game.
Okay, but that is what I really don't like. That like now like, oh, I only get one thing because nobody else wanted to pre-order this. Like, I hate the idea of like we need to push pre-orders so hard that depending on how many people do this, we're gonna get money. It's essentially like, I don't even know. And then like the ultimate goal, which is like if we get all our pre-order goals, we're gonna give it to you 4 days early.
This is fine. I don't care. You know what's
weird
is that this has happened before. It's just happened for smaller games. Like this was a thing on Steam for a while. Like Valve pushed this sort of idea. So like the fact that they've done this was not like a brand new idea. I think it's the first time console gamers have seen it though.
I hate it.
I don't disagree with it. The thing is, I don't pre-order games, so I don't care.
I don't either. So I guess I really shouldn't care either. But it's still it just boggles my mind that like we need to set up goals for how many people buy this game before this game is a thing. It makes me feel like the game's shit. When you're like sitting there trying to be like, please buy this before anybody's played it. Please buy this before there's a review. Please buy this before this happens.
I can see it.
It's just like in my mind, it's like you're not that desperate for money. Either that or as soon as a review comes out, this game's going to be like, sorry. Yeah, we were right. It was garbage. But thanks for your pre-orders. We hit our goal.
But would you bet... But we talked about this before, though, but you would be okay with this if they had done this for a game that wasn't released yet, that was like still in production. Like this is like the perfect scenario it's described if they were trying to make like a medieval game or something like that.
Wait, for like a Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very different situation. This is not a game that needs funding. This is a game that they're trying to steal money from people.
They're not trying to steal money. Okay, look at the pre-order bonuses. Like they're not great. It's like it's just normal pre-order bonuses. It's like you get music, you get a new costume, you get...
Yeah, but still, I don't like it. And like you said, I'd be fine if it's like an in development game that needs money, and you do it like on a Kickstarter basis where it's, oh yeah, we need to hit like this stretch goal and this stretch goal. That's fine, because those are games that need money. This game doesn't need money.
Well, it does. I mean, that's what the whole. I mean, that's like the whole pre-order culture is about. Is because they need to hit a funding goal. Like the game is funded sort of, but they still need to make like extra money on top of it. So they need to have like guaranteed sales. Like that's we're like all AAA games are super dependent on pre-orders. I think I think they thought this was a good idea. I don't think they were being nefarious. I don't think people are saying like, oh, they're holding the game hostage. I don't think that's the case. I think they thought this was like a cool thing to do. We need to get more pre-orders, and you know how everybody's getting like players invested in the games and talking with them and community and online, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give them player choice, and I think this was a
By
good
giving us
idea.
money for a game that they can't play right now.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things that sounded like a really good idea if you weren't on forums and stuff. Like if they weren't like as a business decision, this makes a lot of sense. But I can see that if they weren't aware of like how much people would hate this on like internet forums, like the internet culture, that they wouldn't
Yeah,
have known otherwise.
and that's probably true. Business wise, it makes total sense. It's a genius move business wise,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's why I don't like it.
I don't know. I can understand. Games are really expensive. So when people do this stuff, and to be fair, like it's like the pre-order stuff. It's not anything like super awesome, and
No,
it's nothing super awesome, and it's 4 days. Like it's nobody's losing out.
but still, I just don't like the idea of like, okay, now because now essentially you've got other people marketing for you because now you're going like, oh, I pre-order this. If only 8,000 more people pre-order this, I better share this with all my Twitter followers so that 3 of them pre-order it and then they share it and we can get this to tier 4.
Yeah, that sounds ingenious.
It does, but it just seems skeezy to me. Like
Oh,
we're
it
not even gonna
is.
bother
I mean,
marketing this game. We're gonna make people market this for us by making them try and get to certain levels.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. So I don't know. I can see why people would be pissed. I personally am not totally pissed about it.
Yeah, in the long run, it really doesn't matter to me because I'm not gonna pre-order this game.
hmm
I might buy it day one, but I'm not gonna pre-order.
If there was something super nefarious behind it, like if they had honestly, if it's just a super super cool pre-order bonus that they're gonna have at the end, or like
Yeah,
like a super like I don't know, like an expansion pack or like something actually real. Ever since this
yeah, like
arc,
everybody
yeah,
gets the season pass for free if we get 2 billion
yeah,
pre-orders.
something like that, like something that was actually like really. But even then, it's like if it was something cool, then who cares? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I have mixed opinions
Anyway,
about
to a company that's doing things right, Nintendo,
that.
in the weirdest possible way, confirmed Pikmin 4.
Yeah, I don't. Did they? Yeah, I actually don't know this news. So you're.
So
I'm learning as you're telling this.
So back in mid-July,
hmm
Miyamoto did an interview with I think it was Eurogamer, and in that interview he's like, "Oh yeah, we're working on Pikmin 4. In fact, it's almost done."
Boy, that
And then
happened.
that article got published just a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. So wait, that's the new. Okay, I was like, wait,
Yeah,
that's
so like he said this interview back in July, and the article was finally posted like a couple days ago. That's why it hasn't been like news until now.
oh,
But he basically just in a random interview with the gaming magazine, was just like, "Yeah, Pikmin 4, it's a thing. I'm actually almost done with it. We're really far along with it actually."
to be fair, that's like Super Nintendo. That's like Nintendo just being Nintendo again. Like we talk about
Exactly,
this
and
all the time.
I love it. It's fantastic, but it's just weird. Like Pikmin 4 is a big deal.
Is it weird though, or is it weird? It'd be weird for other companies. Is it weird for Nintendo?
That's probably true. I guess it's probably not weird for Nintendo, but if Pikmin 4 is almost done, he didn't say any system would be on.
Oh,
Uh huh.
we NX. We're not gonna talk about NX stuff until there's actually something other than we know it's called the NX. That's like literally
And
that's
maybe Pikmin 4 is on it. And maybe
maybe
Pikmin
yeah.
4 is a launch title.
Actually, it would make sense. We're not gonna talk about. God dang it. What would make sense to be the next Zelda because they did that with the GameCube and Wii with Twilight Princess. So it obviously makes sense to release on the NX and the Wii at the same time as the sort of the ports between generations. And it would make sense to also release Pikmin 4 that I'll bet you. God dang it. Why are you talking about NX? Every okay, we have not. There have been no big Nintendo mainline announcements outside of Star Fox, like of like huge. They're golden
Yeah.
Mario.
They're big guys.
Yeah, they're big guys, and there really hasn't been any announcement. And like that kind of happened at E3, and they got kind of burned about it. So I assume those are all in development for NX, and I imagine NX is going to have one hell of a crazy launch with a lot of Wii U not ports, but you know what I mean.
like the cross generational thing.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's gonna have and some like, and then of course like the new whatever the new Mario is, I'm sure is on NX.
yeah. And what makes this weird, and I didn't even think about this, is this interview happened in mid-July.
Oh yeah, he said almost done. Yeah.
He said, well, no, not that he said almost done, but you just mentioned like people got kind of irritated. They didn't have any big announcements at E3.
Oh, if
And like
Pikmin
two
4 is
weeks,
almost done, why didn't they say anything?
and like 2 weeks later, it's like Pikmin 4, we're making some good progress on that. It's actually pretty close to being done, and we're not even going to mention that at E3. We're going to mention that in a side piece gaming interview.
Yeah, I could kind of. Yeah, I
Oh,
could kind of see it
Nintendo.
though. Pikmin to me, I think that'd be the perfect game to show. And here's the NX playability aspects. You know what I mean? Here's the goofy new twist to Pikmin 4 that
Oh,
is only possible on NX, and like I could see
the
something.
Nintendo gimmick.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised that if you said it's almost done in July, they didn't show that it. Well, no, E3 was when was E3? March?
Like first week of July.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
That is weird. Then I don't know what the hell they're. Nintendo's being weird.
Yeah.
That's a good note
But
to end
anyway,
on.
that'll do it for this episode. Like we said, it's a little bit shorter than normal. We do have a Arkham Knight spoiler episode edition thing that you can go check out as well to kind of fill out the week in terms of content. But of course, have videos up and things throughout the week. So of course, you can check us out on Twitter, Darksliders_pod, or on YouTube, SoundCloud. All those places will have all our updates for the week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.